If your views keep getting stuck, you're not shadow banned, you're just in shorts jail. I've been there. But then I found the keys, and then I got over 300 million views and helped thousands of creators and businesses do the same. And today, those 3 keys are yours. Not only that, you're gonna get a free tool to make sure you never go back to shorts jail. Or jails, there's 3 of them. Let's just start with the one where 99% of creators get stuck. The swipe jail. If your shorts stop under 1,000 views, you failed YouTube's 3-second test, like this video. Nothing happens to make me want to stick around, which means it doesn't have a hook. And sure, a hook can get you out of swipe jail, but wouldn't you rather just skip all 3 jails at once? I mean, that's what the biggest creators do when they use the triple hook. That first channel I showed you did have one video that got out of swipe jail. See if you can pick out what it did right. This one nailed the visual hook. A plane haphazardly flying through the sky, that'll make anybody curious, but nothing else happened. They couldn't triple hook if they wanted to because there was nothing else to be curious about. But let's say there was a reason to post this, like the plane lands in an unexpected way. Here's that version with a triple hook. 1. Visual. He already had it. The plane was there. I just changed the ending and shortened it up a bit because 77 seconds is way too long. 2. Verbal.
Oh my god, I've never landed before. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh. Okay, we're good.
3. Textual. Like Roblox devs didn't plan for this, or craziest landing ever. It doesn't matter as long as it amplifies the story. This video got 61 million views with only 2 hooks. See if you can guess which one I left out. Nobody was buying this man's food, so he took out his iPhone and he glued it to the ground in front of his stand. If you said text hook, you are correct! Because the subtitles aren't really a hook. They don't add anything to the story, not like a caption does. But it doesn't need a caption because the visual hook is so strong. A real person inside a 3D scene stops the scroll every time. And I know that because my students keep going viral too, and like 70% of them never made content before. Hell, one of them just started a new channel and the first 2 shorts, both viral. I think if we added captions, it would probably be overkill at this point. And also, I don't want to mess with the workflow that's paying all my bills. The point is, you don't need 3 hooks if you got one really, really strong hook. By the way, if you want results like my students and I, just go to viral.school. Links in the description. Here is another example of one hook carrying the entire piece of content. All right, so first impression, one really, really strong hook. Seriously, don't you want to know what's going to happen after you read that caption? And of course, the visual's there to back it up, but without the caption, this would just seem like a random video from somebody's camera roll. But they did add the caption, and because of that, they passed the swipe test, and now you will too. But be careful, because even if you have a good hook, most creators that get out of swipe jail fall right into jail number 2. If your short's above 1K but under 10,000 views, put yourself in the viewer's shoes, because you just got locked up in reaction jail. Those who escape this jail all have one thing in common. They understand perspective. Shorts viewers are not your friend. They don't care about you or your job or the game you're playing or your cat. They might care about your cat, but the fact is you have to make them care about your content. The easiest way to do this is a strategy that comes from the host of my favorite podcast, My First Million. His name is Sean Purry.
People will only share or act if they feel something at the end.
The only things people will share is things that are LOL, WTF, OMG, wow.
There's like 7 or 8 emotions that people can tap into. We don't write a script until we first pick the emotion.
Then we'll write a script and then we'll go check. Do we think that's going to create this reaction in somebody?
Think about the last time you shared a short with someone, or a reel or TikTok or whatever. Why did you share it? It made you feel something and you wanted someone else to feel that thing that you experienced. It sounds really weird when you say it out loud, but that is the reason. You don't share information. You share reactions. LOL, wow, WTF, aw, oh, or finally, like, I really agree. I don't know, there's not like a 3-letter acronym for I agree. The strategy here is start with a reaction in mind and tailor everything in your content to that reaction. If a line is not gonna get that reaction or doesn't build to the thing that gets that reaction, cut it. Here's an example of, wow. Zach King is everywhere because people share him everywhere. Here's an example of LOL. This video has several cuts in it because every second is vital to getting to the LOL. Could you imagine what this would be like without the cuts? Like him doing the thing and then like walking back in and getting the phone. That's what most creators are doing. Imagine a Minecraft creator that something funny happens at the end, but they keep the first 30 seconds and then they wonder why they don't get views. All right. The last example, oh, This is the reaction that education channels usually go for. Is 30K view jail a real thing? YouTube will give you a certain amount of impressions, up to 100, and if you get a certain amount of engagement within that 100 impressions, it'll give you more. This is a short I put out a few days ago. Now, while I didn't film this to be a short, it still got out of reaction jail because I packed it with so much information and chopped out all the stuff that wasn't relevant to the shorts viewer, and there was a lot of stuff because that video was a creator breakdown for somebody else's channel, and there were some things that I said that were for him. But I chopped out all that stuff because it would have just wasted the shorts viewer's time. Pro tip, never, ever, 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 ever think you need to make your short longer for it to perform better. If you ever catch yourself thinking, maybe I should say this and that would lead to higher attention, stop. You're an evil villain. If you don't want someone doing that to you, then don't do it to a viewer. That's the golden rule of YouTube Shorts. And if you follow the golden rule, you'll have great performance. Plus, if you have competition, a 15-second tutorial will always perform better than a 40-second tutorial on the same subject. Even though I didn't waste any time in the short, it probably still won't go viral. And you're about to find out why. Even if you're not in this jail yet, pay attention, because with what I'm about to say, you'll probably just blow right past it. And trust me, you do not want to get caught in 30K jail, because this is the toughest jail to get out of. Because after it, you shoot up to 100,000. This is format jail. You didn't get swiped. You made someone care, but the algorithm stopped pushing you anyway. Why did that happen? Well, it's not because your ideas suck or anything, it's just your presentation of them might. Which is why we need to take a page from the book of motivational speaker Tony Robbins, everyone.
Find somebody that's already getting the result and figure out how they do it and do the same thing. Success leaves what? Clues.
Success leaves clues. If you're in the format jail, it means that you're pretty good at everything else, you're just not taking enough outside inspiration. Outliers. You might have heard of them, but with shorts, it's a totally different thing. I'll explain here in a second. But if you haven't heard of them, if you go to somebody's channel and they usually get 5,000 views, but then you see a 1,000,000 view video, that's an outlier. If you go to a channel and you see a bunch of 1,000,000 view videos and they get a 1,000,000 view video, not an outlier, that's just what they normally do. Okay, now, with shorts, it's not the idea, it's not the video, it's not the packaging that you need to pay attention to, it's the format. It's the way that it's presented. Let me explain. All right, so here's an outlier that pretty much anybody can put a twist on.
Hey brother, want me to tell you a joke? Go for it. All right, what do you call... Is that dude filming himself as two characters?
Okay, so this turns real meta because like there's another guy spying on these guys and then that guy's getting spied on and so on. I just think this third person seeing you filming yourself format is really funny and anybody can turn it into pretty much anything. Here's a solid visual hook.
This is day one of dancing 1 second for every new follower I get.
Okay, you don't have to dance, but just putting your camera in the microwave and opening it to start, that's a solid visual hook. All right, here's one more.
Wait. This person's gonna hate me so much. Oh, sick. I got here first. Now I can just chill for a sec.
All right, so two different thinking perspectives. I can imagine that if you're working at a coffee shop and you're so nervous ordering, but then the barista is like super nervous, I don't know, you can pretty much turn that into anything that involves two people, especially because it'll get the reaction, yeah, totally true, I think that way too. There are tools to find these outliers for you, but the key is to just find what works and put your own spin on it. As for that free tool I mentioned earlier, you have all the keys, right? But sometimes keys just aren't enough, which is why I created the Shorts Lockpick, the somewhat unethical guide to breaking out of shorts jail. It's got every technique and trick to take your shorts to the next level. Just please use the tricks responsibly, and if you get in trouble, you didn't get it from me, okay? Link's in the description, right next to the link where you can make a crap load of money with shorts, the 3D animation thing. If you're wondering how much money those make, by the way, take a look at this video right here. Maybe it's on the thumbnail. It's a lot. That's per month.